Welcome back to BaseD&D. I'm your player, Ethan. And little recap. Last time we created our characters. We've got me, Arthur. Wait.
I thought it was Thomas.
Thomas. Sorry. There's
Arthur.
a nickname for later, so it's not really his full name.
Oh, gotcha.
We have our monk,
The Forgotten One.
the Forgotten One, and of course, our barbarian,
Kier.
Cure. We're taking place in a dark world this time, and this is going to be our first session, so hand it over to the DM.
All right, so last time we did a little bit of prologue action during the Sundering when the world fell apart. To start, you guys have been traveling for a few years, or at least surviving for a few years, kind of discovering the new world, or at least a little bit of it, as you kind of recovered for a while and then went out to kind of change the way that you've been living your lives. To start, you guys have been sort of in and out of seeing this kind of nameless character for whatever reason, and Kier and Thomas have been kind of sticking together on this religious quest. In your travels, you've begun mapping out some of the areas that you've explored, some of the changes that you've seen after the Sundering. During these travels, you've come across others who have also been or tasking themselves with this same thing, trying to discover what's the same, what's different, where kind of greater danger lies. It's a very slow process as the world is extremely, extremely dangerous. But one thing is kind of crossed your maps as you've looked at other people's markings as well as your own, is that everybody has marked this town called Clean Reach. Clean Reach, from what you've heard from the people who've been traveling, is one of the few remaining settlements that remains, or at least appears to be, untouched by the Sundering. It feels almost as if that it skipped over this small settlement. And from the rumors you've heard that they've named it Clean Reach because of its purity. People kind of are suspicious of those who have markings. Markings are these mutations that have occurred during the Sundering for you guys. With that being said, they don't necessarily prevent you from entering. They've kind of, from what you've heard from your rumors, is they'll vet you and question you and keep a close eye on you. They certainly don't want you staying for long periods of time, but generally it's seen as a safe haven, and especially for those who are unmarked by the Sundering.
Interesting.
So as you guys have kind of come to this realization that you want to go check out Clean Reach, mark it on your personal documentation for what lies behind after the Sundering. You kind of are hiking through the land. You haven't really made it far outside of Bramblewake. Generally, you've made it, miles, I'd say, maybe hundreds of miles, but nothing crazy. You haven't really gone through the entire continent. And Clean Reach kind of lies at the heart of this really large open area inside of Kale. Currently, it's generally described as being called the Expanse, the Ashvale Expanse. The Expanse is the majority of the region of Kale, and it's been given this name because nobody really knows what to make of it. People haven't really thoroughly mapped it out yet. A lot of the kind of biomes and regions that were there originally are no longer there or are divvied up in weird ways. So people kind of generally refer to it as the Expanse instead of by the region names that it used to go by. But sort of central east of, or at least east of where Bramblewake is supposedly the town of Clean Reach. And so you guys will be on your journey towards Clean Reach. As the settlement comes into view, the ground around you grows firmer, the air clearer. The growth on the ground, which usually is covering pathways, kind of showing that what were once well-traveled roads have been overgrown. The growth begins to clear away back into these well-traveled lines, carefully tended earth. Most of the damage that the Sundering left behind looks like it has been cut back or buried or even ignored by the land around it itself. The wind feels more gentle. Tilled soil and wood smoke fill your noses instead of the typical smell of rot and decay that was left behind after the Sundering. As you see these walls appear over this hillside, you see that Clean Reach, or what you assume to be, is sitting on a low-rised hill with shallow ditches and simple stone markers around the edges of the walls. Buildings are, at least from what you can see from the outside, are well-maintained. They're made of wood and stone. They look kind of patchy and repaired, but nonetheless in good shape. Contrary to what you've seen as you've passed by other ruins and towns in the area, there are no growths and things clinging to the roofs and the walls. And people begin to kind of come up to the walls and the gate at the front and watch as you approach. It is uncommon in this world to see newcomers. They don't hide and they don't wave, but conversations do stop, and they set their tools aside. Children are gathered closer as the three of you approach this sort of gateway into the town. At the edge of the settlement, just before you enter the gate, you see a small signpost with a stone marker. On that stone marker is a straight line carved and etched into it, perfectly standing vertically and straight. Beneath it, some wooden words are kind of chopped and cut into the wooden panel that says, "Keep what is yours, strength and unity." As you guys are approaching Clean Reach, for Kier and Nameless One, are you trying to hide your marks at all? Or is this something that you've been kind of grown accustomed to? Do you share it with pride, or do you hide them?
I view it as blasphemy to cover him up because they are sacred and divine markings.
In general, or just specifically yours?
Mine.
Okay.
I cover mine up. I have a pretty big hood, not one that's like, I mean, since I spoke about how my antlers are kind of smaller, they don't like really jut out too much, so it just looks like I have pretty poofy hair or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay. So I'm going to have you guys, at least you, go ahead and make a stealth check as you're kind of attempting to hide your markings as you approach the village.
Do you need die?
It's 10 plus 13.
13? Okay, so...
16.
16. So as the group of you approach the entrance to the town, two sentries standing guard step around the corner of the gate and approach you. There's no actual gate or barrier preventing entrance into the town. Off to the side, you can see where the cuirass has fallen and broken away from where it once stood. The sentries step forward. They're unarmored, but they are alert. As they approach you, they simply ask a single question. Name?
Kier.
Thomas.
Forgo. I'll say Forgo instead of Forgotten One, I guess.
Okay. As you speak your names one by one, the first sentry watches your mouth as you speak. The second sentry holds a polished disc showing the reflection of your face, and as he watches carefully. Neither explains or says anything else. And as you speak, the second century glances towards the markings, in this case, your books on your shoulders. He glances towards them, and he says, "You'll have to go see the string right about that in order to be into the town." And then he looks at the reflection of Forgo as you speak. Go ahead and make a deception check.
You're going to have +0.
It's wisdom based, isn't it?
That's charisma.
Charisma, that's right. Okay. 14.
14? Okay. For a moment, he gives you an odd stare as he glances between the reflection of your face in the disc and your actual face. And then the sentries nod and move past and say, "Make your first stop at the string right on the right." The gathering of people at the entrance of the town have kind of dispersed at this point, seeing that the sentries have allowed you entry into the town. As you make your way through the entrance of the gate and into the town, on the right side, you see a small building. Outside of it, you can see that another wooden panel has been carved into, saying "String Right." It's a simple, small, thatched roof building, maybe the size of a single-floor house with nothing else inside, or at least space-wise.
We enter.
So as you push the
Or do
wooden
only
door,
I have to enter?
specifically you
I'll-
were told to enter.
I'm all going to enter with him.
I'll follow behind.
So as you push your this wooden door open and enter into the string right, inside you see spools of twine, cord, and fibers colored in various different ways, with some strands having knots and others having exceedingly long tails. Inside, a thin man with stained fingers knots away at a few pieces of cord. He glances up and takes a look at the three of you, quickly noticing Kier. He nods and he says, "Very well. Come right over here, boy."
I say, hold on. Explain your business and trade.
I'm the string right. In order to retain entry in our small settlement of Clean Reach, all those bearing marks must be knotted. You have to bear the mark of the string and the rope in a public area, oftentimes a wrist, a leg, so that others can identify you as a marked one. It is simply a tradition. No harm will come upon you. It's just so that we can keep a watch and have a healthy relationship with those who are marked as they enter our pure settlement.
Very well. I approve of this tradition. Let them know who is blessed. Let them know.
I am not ashamed of my marks.
The man kind of smirks as he shakes his head and begins knotting a orange piece of string. He puts 2 knots into it with about a 4-inch tail at the end, and he says, "Clip this to a belt or wrap it around your wrist of some sort and just keep it visible for others to see." And then he hands you an identical one and he says, "Place this on a doorway of where you decide to stay tonight. Keep in mind that the longer that people see you in town, the more uncomfortable they will get around you." And he kind of hands you those things and goes back to working on the blue one that he was working on previously.
Very well.
So after exiting the string right, you can see that there are a few larger buildings before it kind of breaks away into a typical settlement of this size. maybe a few hundred people live here. Much of them are in these long row of houses on the east side. To the west, west entrance where you came in is the Stringwright building. And just poking out over a few other smaller houses, you can see a cobbled steeple. A few larger buildings lie around the town. And the people around begin going back to the work as they disperse. Go ahead and make a passive perception check, everyone.
Do we roll for passive perception?
Or active perception. Well, let's say passive. What is your passive perception? Let's
Mine's
not roll.
15.
Okay.
10.
I always forget what that's up.
It's your
Oh,
it's your
10
it's
plus
10
your
plus
wisdom.
your perception modifier. And if you're not proficient, then it's just plus your wisdom modifier.
12 then.
Okay, so you said yours is 15?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kier, as you all step outside of the Stringwright building, breathing in that clean, fresh air, glancing up at the unnervingly blue sky from the clouded, kind of gray air outside, you notice a gentle breeze coming from the west. However, looking around, seeing the smoke rising from the chimneys, you see that they barely stir. They don't move with this breeze in the wind. It feels like something is insulating it. As you step further into the town, the wind very much so begins to die off as all of the chimneys' smoke begin to rise straight up. So inside of the town, you are quickly greeted by another woman, or a woman. She sees you kind of step out of the Stringwright house, and she approaches you. She's a calm, prematurely aging woman, so she can't be much older than her late to mid-40s. However, her hair is all completely white. She looks over to you, and she gives a warm smile, and she says, "Hello, I'm Elrin. I keep the names." She looks at you expectantly.
What names do you keep?
Well, the names of those who enter.
We already gave our names. Do you want them again?
Did you give the names to me? Because I keep them.
I suppose not.
You say you don't want to give her your names?
I'll give her my name.
Okay.
Is it like a reservation?
I
Like it's
give-
being held under his name.
I give mine as well.
Okay, so as the two of you give your name, she pulls out from a small satchel that she has on her side a ledger, and she notes down your names. As she's noting down, she asks, I need your full name, your place of birth, and a memory that you are certain that only belongs to you.
What city?
I am from the north, originally. I don't know the name of the town.
Does anybody know?
I mean, I
Timber
could come up with one.
Brook.
Our old place was
Bramblewake.
Bramblewake.
That's what
But
it
that's
was.
not where I was born.
I am Thomas Bartholomew of Bramblewake.
Okay.
I am Kier of Bramblewake.
Would
She
you like
nods and notes it down?
my memory spoken or shown?
Spoken as any other methods of showing would possibly be mistaken as an echo.
I lean over and I whisper in her ear. I say, I watched the fisherman die. I did nothing.
And you said you were from Bramblewake?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She nods and she looks to Kier for your memory. And you said Bramblewake as well, right?
I did say Bramblewake. Because I haven't come up with a town name from where I was from.
Okay.
A memory of mine. I was a devout follower of another god that I still haven't gotten the name for.
You can make it up, sorry.
Oh
Make
man,
one up.
let me make one up. Shoot. It's a cool name for a god.
As he's thinking about that, she looks at you expectantly.
Forgo. I know not where I come from, but I awoke in Bramblewake, and I remember her turning into stone.
Okay. So she notes these down, and as you're kind of struggling to come up with the name of your god, she perceives this as trying to choose a memory. And take your time. Rushed memories are often borrowed.
Yes.
Often borrowed. How poetic.
Oh.
Hmm.
I was a devout follower of Calestus, who many say have abandoned us.
Okay. As she gets this last piece of information, she nods and carefully pens this down into her ledger. Thank you. You may be asked again, as consistency is comforting. And she nods and begins to walk away. I'm going to have everyone go ahead and make a perception check.
13.
14.
Okay.
19.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, sorry. 11. I get
Okay.
-2.
As you see Kier once again, you notice as she is turning to walk away, you glance over her shoulder at the ledger as she's flipping through the pages. She has the date written down next to each name, and as she flips through the pages, you begin to see names from years ago, prior to the Sundering. In fact, far enough back that the quality of the paper, the ink on the paper, shouldn't be in as good of condition as it is. It's very well preserved. Dates from decades ago appear as she flips it back to the front of the page, or the front of the ledger, and then walks off.
Which way does she walk?
She walks off to the Boundary House. So it's across from the string right. It's a small building where the sentries kind of walked out of before they came to question you. One of the rumors that you've heard as you kind of have seen Cleanright written down on other explorers' maps is that in some way Cleanright helps dull or hide markings And this potentially, for I guess the unknown one, could potentially be an interesting reason why you wanted to go. But so far, you've seen the string right and been questioned by Elrin. But at this time, you can kind of explore the town or maybe talk a little bit about what you guys have been doing in the last few years as you walk around the town.
That you broke something. Don't mind our little audio tech over here just fixing his microphone. Anyway, what'd you just say again? Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Just kind of let's see. So as you continue kind of walking to the center of town, you can see that there is sort of an old meeting hall that has been thrown together, where it looks like communal meals and things are held for the people of Clean Reach. Across from it, sort of near the central, is a man, a carpenter, kind of hammering away at some wooden projects outside of this small little cottage. Another building kind of attaches to the backside of the kind of main hall or the evening hall. And on outside you see a sign called the Counting House. And then there's the row of homes that kind of wraps around the backside of the town. Off to the far left is a cobbled church. And oddly enough, as you kind of walk by and glance at, you see that it is not in well repair, contrary to the rest of the town. So you guys are kind of in the center of the town right
now. Could I just go up to like the blacksmith and I'd like to ask him how many was it tied? Knotted? What's it called when they have a...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, knotted.
How many knotted are in the city?
Glancing up from his work on one of these cabinets, he glances over to you from across his stool. At this time, he says, I couldn't be sure. As you look closer at him, you see that he only has one eye, and his other eye kind of strays off to the side.
Is he wearing a knot?
Make a perception check.
3.
From what you can tell, he is not wearing a knot.
Excuse me, if you don't mind me asking, are you knotted?
No. Been here my whole life.
So only the outsiders who have been affected need knots. Is that correct?
Yeah. Those who have been marked and need a watchful eye kept. And
Watchful eye.
every time you mention the word knot or knotted, you notice that he kind of tips his head to the side every time, whether you mention it or he mentions it.
Can I roll an insight?
Is it like a tick he has?
Does it look like he's flinching or like nodding?
He's sort of just moving his head, just
Paying
like
his
just.
respects.
It's not even enough that like it would be a full head movement. It's just kind of like a twitch almost.
I'll say, if you're feel like someone's trying to knot you, if you know what I mean.
No, don't know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I do not understand.
You might like our message, and I'll slip him just a time
Mm-hmm.
for later that night.
Preach.
Does it have a location on it? Does it, or is it just a time?
It's just a time.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Only if you want. It's an invitation. We have words that are,
To what?
I believe, a community might be in here that's been pushed down and perhaps persecuted.
If you're referring to the knotted, we don't persecute their kind. We just are a little bit watchful.
Well, have a good day.
And he
I'll
turns and goes back to his woodworking. At this time, you do notice that it is getting a little bit darker. It is coming into evening.
Can I check out the thing that you were mentioning about reducing the forms and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Is there shopkeepers selling stuff, or how is it?
No, oddly, there's not a. This is just a rumor about the town. There's no specific buildings or anything, at least related to that.
All right, can I, before we leave the
Repair
blacksmith,
hall.
I ask him, I hear rumors of help for people with knots.
Yeah. He glances up to you with his one eye, kind of turning his head to the side so you can see better. He looks you up and down. He says,
His character just clears his throat all the time.
I don't see why you'd need that, as you aren't knotted. And he tips his head.
I show him my knot that I have attached to my belt, and I go, I am the one who's knotted.
Well, see, I never would say that it didn't help to be in clean reach. But if you look around, it's pretty pure. And he turns and goes back to his work.
Useless. I turn and walk with.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna, if I see any knotted people or sort of disfigured people, just kind of give them the same message.
The time.
7 o'clock tonight.
Okay.
Be there.
Be
I tell, in our little conversation as we're walking, I go, who does this town think they are to judge who's pure and who's not?
They know not their crimes. They are but men. We must treat them as who they are, sinners, all lost in this strange new world.
I will judge them and see if they are pure or not, if they are worthy to remain
Of course you will.
here
Um,
alive.
So as you guys continue wandering around town and it gets darker and darker, you do come across a few people who do have knots. You don't necessarily see what they have on them as you pass by them, but you do see various colors and various amounts of knots on their strings.
Is there any rhyme or reason to the colors and amount?
Not that was explained to you.
Can I go up and ask one of them?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. I've noticed that various people who have been knotted have different colors and numbers of knots. What is the meaning of that?
To be honest, I don't know. I only came here a few days ago, and things are feeling a bit strange. People are looking at me a little bit more funny. Now, I keep mine nice and hidden, but just having that on you makes people look at you. And the longer you're here, the longer they don't like it. But nobody ever told me why, and I never asked, because I figure it'd just make things worse.
Do you understand anything about how they say they keep this town pure, or they help with those who have been marked?
Ah, now that is the question.
And he pulls up his arm to reveal a set of scales kind of on one of his forearms.
I was marked, as you can quite see. I've only been here for a few days, but
he pulls up his sleeve a little bit further and kind of nearing the top of his bicep and towards his shoulder, you can see that the same pattern of scales looks a lot more faded, more like a tattoo into his arm, less so than actual scales.
they fade. I don't know why, but something about just being here.
And he kind of glances around.
I couldn't quite tell you if somebody's doing something or if it's just some kind of thing with the town. But nonetheless, having this string still leads to some funny looks, especially in the last few days I've been here.
Do you know if your mark completely fades, do you still have to keep your knot?
As far as I know, nobody's been permitted to stay long enough to find out if it does or doesn't.
Do they leave, or are they forcefully taken from the city?
I wouldn't say forcefully taken, but they're certainly confronted. I personally haven't seen whether or not somebody's been taken, but I know that people I've known in the last few days have gone missing, or at least left.
Very well.
How much longer do you plan on staying?
I have to leave in the morning. My 3 days
Are up and make a perception check for me.
I think it's a 20.
Okay, so you notice that on his string, he has a blue strand with 3 knots on it.
How many?
Strand
Mine
of
had
3
one.
knots.
2.
2. Okay. But his is blue.
Sort
Mine's
of
orange.
nod notingly.
I hand him the note that I've been giving everyone, and I'll also say there is safe places for people like you, like us.
He looks at you and says,
I don't see a knot.
There is no knot. They did not notice, but I am just like you, just like them. And I point at Logan's shoulders. We are blessed with these strange things that these people, they cannot comprehend. But in these strangities, these oddities that we've been blessed with, it brings us strength and power. And I just make a little flame on my hand, like a little green flame, and I quickly snuff it out.
So as you do this, he glances over his shoulder, and he says,
You shouldn't do that. Whatever it was, it's seen as different, ununiform.
As we all are, my friend.
My child.
My
My
child.
son. My son.
We must stick together. If you know anyone who could use the message, who could use help, please.
I'll say 7 o'clock. Got it.
You should heed his words, young one. He is a prophet.
he
Prophet of what?
Calestus.
As most gods have left, there is still one with us.
he smirks and he says, "Tss."
Callistus. No god has stayed. Have you not seen the chapel?
I have seen the chapel. Is that not what another god would do out of spite, out of petty?
Perhaps.
He kind of begins to think.
And then I go, and then I'm going to tap him on the shoulder, and he's just going to feel just warmth.
Hmm.
And I'm going to say,
His eyes widen a little bit.
my friend, Calestus is with us all. And we've been blessed with this duty.
Are you casting a spell on him, or
It's prestidigitation, so I
Okay.
just
Create
warmth.
sure? His eyes widen a little, and he nods and begins to shuffle away. So, finishing wandering around the town, looking for people with strings, you notice a few more with varying colors and knots, and deliver the same message. As you come into nightfall, you come across sort of a larger building, maybe 5 or 6 rooms. It's kind of a low-set, really long building, kind of squished in against the rows of houses near the back. And outside it, you see a sign labeled "The Mirrorless Home," and it has the kind of traditional symbol of an inn etched in the wood.
Shall we get rooms?
Yes, we shall stay the night.
I'll walk in.
Okay,
And
so as you enter, it's clean straw, wood smoke, cooked beef. The door closes with a creak. Go ahead and make a perception check.
14.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, 20.
20.
12.
12. Okay, so Forgo, you wince as you hear this creak of the door, as it kind of triggers an instant memory of the door that you entered into the Stringwright's home. The same pitch, the same exact kind of tune as it creaks open and then swings shut. Inside, there's a few small tables, a flickering fire, and a man standing at the kind of the bars. Nobody else is inside of this sort of tavern area of the home. He greets you and brings you a basin of water, a few mugs to drink from. Once again, Forgo, you notice that the water is extremely cloudy. The glass pane on the door is faded and scratched out, not quite clear, but certainly not shiny. The kind of metal hearth around the fire is a dulled metal, not reflective in any way. And as he kind of walks you around and sits you down, giving you these things, he notices you kind of glancing around. He says, reflections, they linger. Reflections lie. We don't. Just remember that. And he sits down and he looks at Logan or Kier. He notices you're not, and he says, remember to place your knot. And he nods his head, a little bit of a twitch. Remember to place it on your door tonight.
Of course.
You take your seats around this small table as he brings out just a few pitchers of that kind of cloudy water and a few small snacks. Compliments of the home. He walks back to the bar.
If I look at the water, am I able to see any sort of reflection in it?
No. So it is super clouded. You're not really seeing any of the light kind of reflect off of it.
Clouded to
Does it taste
prevent
normal?
reflections.
It does taste normal.
Can I roll something to see, like, if there's anything weird with the water? Or if they just, like,
Can I roll something?
put milk in it to make it cloudy?
Is this an illusion?
Just be like
Is this like man-made?
Medicine or
or drugs?
investigation, I guess.
Yeah, we'll say
Oh,
investigation.
no. Get -2. 7.
Yeah, so as far as you know, as far as you can tell, it does seem like the water has just been murky and cloudy with a little bit of dilution from some common herbs.
Would we have any water on our bodies that we could, like a canteen or something? that we can check?
Yeah, you probably would.
Can I dump out the glass of water that they gave me and pour a little bit
Mhm.
of the water that I have?
So as you pour yours out into the cup, you do see sort of the light reflect from your water. It still is clear from the last stream that you picked it up from.
Can I go? Sorry, I'll say that after this encounter or this. Or are you done with your thing?
And I drink it. set
I'm
it back
gonna.
down.
I want to go ask the barkeep if he, if that like guy we were talking to with the scales, if he had stayed here.
So as you approach him, you see this older, larger fellow wearing a stained apron. He says, yup, most nodded do, and he twitches his head. Kind of the only place in town you're allowed to be at night.
This guy doesn't have a knot.
It is not.
I'm gonna ask him. I go. I've heard rumors and seen some evidence of marks fading as people stay here. Is that a effect of staying here?
Those who stay for a day or so, 2 days, 3, it's likely you'll see some fading.
He kind of thinks for a moment. Begins a sentence again. You. And he shakes his head and he says,
Most wouldn't stay.
or come just for that. He shakes his head and continues washing and cleaning the
No.
counter.
What causes this fading?
We don't know. The town is clean. We are clean reach. All we do is what the string right says. We not. He twitches his head. And we continue to provide for each other.
Why do you do that? I do the little twitch motion back to him.
And he kind of recoils a little bit. He says,
I don't know what you mean.
Do you not know what you do? Emphasis on the not to like see if he does it in response.
No, I don't know what you mean.
You'd say you do not know.
And then he nods and he says, I do not know, but he doesn't twitch this time.
Curious.
Overhearing this, I'm gonna signal to Logan to like come over here.
I go. I heed my prophet's words.
There is blasphemy in this town.
Yes, I have
Heretics.
felt that too.
They wish the marks to go away. We must speak to this.
I agree.
What is it? Seamstress? Stringer?
The string right.
String right.
You say right, do you mean like R-I-T-E? Like
Right, as in like the last name right.
Oh,
Like
W-R-I-G-H-T.
W-R-I-H.
gotcha.
Perhaps
Yes.
interrogation.
Yes, I
And then-
agree. Lord.
I'm also gonna go kind of wander through the inn and look for other doors with strings on them.
Okay.
I'm not gonna drink
You're
the
not
water
going to
or
drink it.
eat the snacks.
As you wander through, you do notice about 2 other doors out of the maybe 10 to 12 or so that are inside of this long hall of rooms, just to the side of where you entered into the tavern area.
I'm just gonna one by one go through them and give them the same spiel.
Okay. You knock on the doors, and one of them doesn't answer, and the other kind of bleary-eyed opens the door, and he says, "Yeah,
How long have you been here?
About a day.
And you're aware of the situations going on?
If you mean the fading of the marks, that's why I came. It's a rumor.
Hmm.
I haven't noticed much of a change for me.
Well, if you wish to know more or perhaps gain a sense of community, I would implore you to join us tonight.
I'll be with him as he's going door to door.
Okay. So you finish up the 2 doors that you find that have the strings on them. And as you kind of make the loop and come back into the tavern area, it comes around to 7 o'clock.
I'm just gonna go outside, and I'm gonna tell the forgotten one. I'm gonna say, "Excuse me, I must ask you of an item, Ethan."
I have an item. I'm sorry, what was going on?
I need your assistance tonight.
Oh, I didn't realize you were talking to me. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh my God.
He's
I
looking
totally tuned out.
right at you. I
Sorry.
asked the forgotten one.
Oh, sorry.
You're just like,
I did not specify details on our meeting location.
That
As
was very evident.
I need you to assess those who are out in the streets, wandering, and bring them to me. And then I give him a location, just like some alley, maybe out kind of near the center of town, for us to hold this meeting.
Okay. It is dark out. But as you kind of wander around, you see, or as you begin leaving the house, you see the few people that you were able to find actually coming into the home, the mirrorless home, as you are leaving. They're all kind of making their way back to the home.
Change of plans. We'll do the meeting here. And then I'm going to, where's the bar? Like, there's like the barkeep and his wife. That's it.
Just the barkeep was in
Just
there.
the barkeep.
Yep.
Okay. How does he seem to towards the knotted people? Does he seem
He
like
seems very neutral. He almost as if he's displaying no emotion towards you. Just the fact that you are there and that his duty is to provide stay for visitors, specifically nodded.
I'm gonna ask him, I'm gonna say, may we have some privacy?
This is a strange request, as typically we recommend you make to your rooms at night.
Oh, we will remain outside and I'll monitor everything, of course. Keep it tame, but I have a seminar to uphold, and seeing as they're not welcome outside at night, I figured this would be a good spot to convene.
He kind of narrows his eyes and says,
This is uncommon for the people of this town to see. People might grow uncomfortable seeing a large gathering of.
he glances to Kier.
As you know,
Them.
they come in and out all the time, as the knotted do. They will pass. It is merely a one night in a year, and a year in a decade.
Go ahead and make a charisma check.
7. Wait, do I get my persuasion plus
Bonus?
bonus? 10.
He shakes his head and, no, it's too risky. The town might come for you.
And then I'm gonna grab him on the shoulder, and I'm just gonna like kind of turn him away from everyone, and I'm gonna cast sleep.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna like kind of casually get some like powder under his like in the general
Schnoz.
vicinity.
How does sleep work?
I roll 5d8, and if it's greater than their hit points, they go to
Okay.
sleep.
Okay.
He's
Well,
just drugging them.
What's this dude's hit points? Like chloroform him.
7 plus 3 is
10,
10,
no wait, 7 plus 5,
12.
12.
20, 21, 29.
29. So he does fall asleep, and he collapses into your arms.
And then I
Kiss
just
him goodnight.
gently pull him aside.
Okay.
And then I begin our meeting.
Okay. The people, there's probably about 6 others that have entered with their strings, and they're kind of sitting each at an individual table, none of them really in contact with each other.
Gentlemen, how many of you came here seeking this fading effect that has been talked about?
They all glance around and nod.
And how many have seen results?
They all begin to raise their hand, all but maybe 1 or 2.
And would you say those results have made your life better? Or by staying in this town, have you felt the unjust people waiting for you to leave, waiting to be able to force you out?
They look at each other and say, the scaled guy, he kind of stands up and he says,
Well, it certainly will help being around people outside of this town. They certainly seem a little bit more friendly than others outside of Clean Reach towards the mark.
What if I told you there was a town out there for all of the marked, where you can be yourself, be this your blessed self, without judgment, where everyone wants, desires to be marked.
They look at each other, and the scaled guy sort of seemingly becomes the spokesperson for the rest of the group as he says,
We know of towns for the marked. That is common, as we are to find community amongst them. However, I wouldn't say that having strange deformities is something that any of us would desire.
I step forward and I go, these marks are a blessing of Calestis. Proof that we have not been abandoned by all the gods. Witness the sacred texts that have been grafted onto my arms.
And then through a little slight trick, I'm going to kind of release some powder, which is going to smell like just fresh flowers, which is, I'm guessing, not very common.
it is very common in this
Clean
town, in Clean Reach. Yep. So there is, however, they notice it as you're not in an area where you'd expect it, but it doesn't seem to pique the interest of anyone. And a few of those who have knots and markings kind of smirk as they glance at their own, kind of pulling up pant leggings or trousers, sleeves, and the likes, glancing at their own, but sort of just smirking and shaking their heads as you mention yours.
Calestis has blessed you all. Now, if you would like, there's a town. There's many towns for the marked. But this one is run by the marked. It is the town of Calestis, for she's the only god.
And what is Calestis doing for you?
What is Calestis doing for me?
What will she do for us? Have not the gods left? You've seen the churches in the rubble.
And then I'll say, Calestis has made me strong. And then I'm going to pull out my whip, and it's going to light onto green fire all throughout it. It has given me the strength to fight anyone who decides that I or my friends are marked or impure. For they are the impure. They are to be judged.
They shake their heads and, judged for what? These people are kind. Their town is clean and unchanged.
And yet where will you be in 3 days? Why can you not stay here with them? Does that not sound fishy to you? Maybe they're using you. No, they are using you.
They look around and begin to nod and
Stay here as long as you like. But you are not to be ashamed of what the gods have done to you. That is all.
they begin to disperse and kind of contemplate the words that you spoke and make their way back to their rooms as a few hours of preaching and answering various questions and such has passed. Eventually, you find yourself making your way back to your rooms. Do you place your spare knot on your door?
Yes. Do we all have separate rooms, or are we all sharing one?
You guys all are sharing a room.
Interesting.
I'll put mine on there.
Does every door in that tavern have a knot at the door?
Not every door has a knot, but all of the ones that you can see people entering from the meeting do.
So those are only knotted people here, I'd imagine. At least in this inn. Because I feel like normal people wouldn't want to stay in the inn with all the knotted
True,
people.
true. Though
But-
if there are normal people, I'm sure. Anyway.
Have we seen any normal people out and about in town?
Yeah,
Or is-
you see them.
I mean the forge guy was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
but I was
see-
saying,
Minus
like,
the eye.
all the guys that are,
Yeah.
everyone's that's just like working a job.
You see people kind of out and about doing various things.
Gotcha.
kind of
So they're just like
wandering around.
regular citizens. here.
Yeah. You saw people gathering at the main hall for the
That's right.
communal dinner.
That's right.
Do I notice any like malicious intent that can be like I don't know, I'm very suspicious of these knots over the doors for some reason. I feel
Mhm.
like it's like a sign for something to come in and, do something at night.
Touch us.
Yeah,
Sure.
I don't want to get touched at night.
Um,
Can I request a separate room?
the
I'm kidding.
the man is asleep.
It's true.
He's out.
Can I just take a separate room? Mhm. I wish not to sleep with you tonight. I must ponder. And I go find a key to a different room. And
Okay. Sure.
I
You,
stay
you make
separate
your
without
way.
a knot.
To sleep with you tonight.
As you kind of
You royal
browse
you.
through the tavern and find kind of where he's keeping the spare keys for the rooms, and you find one.
Can I
And
find like a master suite?
so you find the key,
I want a corner window.
and as you enter the room, you realize it's an exact mirror image of the room you were just in from across the hall. The layout is the exact same. The bed, the table, and the stand are all in the same positions.
All right. I cozy up for the night.
Okay. As you guys fall asleep, you find it relatively, maybe exceedingly easy to find sleep here. You're not used to having such clean air and a calm atmosphere around you from your travels. As you fall asleep, Forgo, where'd it go?
I forgore.
That'd be a funny name.
Yeah.
As you fall asleep, relatively quickly, you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night. Inside of your doorway, you see the shadow of a figure. The closer you look, as you kind of start and try to wipe the blurriness from your eyes, you see that it's mimicking your posture, your rapid breathing. You can see his chest rising and falling at the same pace yours currently is.
If I tilt my head, does it tilt with me?
As you tilt your head, it tilts, but in the opposite direction. When you kind of focus in and look at its face, you see that it's blurred and warped. You can't quite make out any details. After a moment of staring, you blink, and instantly the reflection of yourself is gone. Go ahead and make a perception check.
14.
As you glance around, kind of looking for potentially where it would go, you also notice that there are no glass, no metal, no water, nothing that would reflect any kind of light in your room.
What about my own blades?
You unsheath your blades, and you do see the reflection of yourself when you light a candle.
Interesting.
As you slide it back into the sheath, you see just a faint shimmer, the faint twist of your face as it warps just so ever so slightly as you put it back into your sheath. But you don't feel any danger or any unease coming from the reflection of yourself.
Interesting. Is my door closed still?
Yes.
Okay.
It was never open.
He was just standing by the door.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. I will go back to sleep and ponder this.
Okay, so
I ponder.
as morning comes, you wake up and kind of make your way down to the central tavern area. Your mind kind of still racing with what you saw that night or last night. And the barkeep kind of shakes his head groggily and says, "Man, I didn't make it to my bed last night. Must have had too much to drink." And he looks over to you and he says, "You look shaken. You should tell someone if you see yourself somewhere you shouldn't be." He kind of stares at you for a moment.
What do you mean?
Usually, as you've probably seen around town, you'll hear the saying, reflections lie. If you see yourself in maybe a place you shouldn't have, something remembers you, something knows you, something has a manifestation of that memory. It's not common. We try to dull reflections. We try to keep them away. That's why you see no objects that shine or reflect. We murk our water.
Who should I see?
It's not a matter of who. Usually it is you that you see.
I mean, you said you should go talk to someone. Who should I talk to if I see?
No worries. You've already said enough. Don't worry about it.
What?
What?
He
and I
goes
rejoin up with these guys.
to making breakfast.
I go tell you two about what I saw. I saw myself last night in
Did
my
you?
door.
Did you tell anyone?
No. Someone guessed. Is it that obvious?
What did they say?
If you see yourself, you should probably talk to someone. I don't know.
Did you say anything more after you were told this?
No. Well, I said. What? It didn't work. What does this mean, prophet?
It means that is your soul looking back at you. It judges you. Careful, it might come for you.
What?
I go, heed his words, for no one is as merciful a judge as I.
Believe we should go talk to the
String right.
the string right. Perhaps they may lend some insight to what is happening in this town.
Okay.
I'll head to the string right.
So you make your way out of the tavern. Some light bells kind of ring in the morning as people begin making their way outside and working, kind of walking up and down. Go ahead and everyone make a perception check.
I fail.
15.
11.
16.
Okay.
Huge.
Kier and Thomas, you notice as you open your door and step outside, oddly enough, many other doors open at the same time as people step outside almost in sync with you guys walking out. There are some in the streets, but you do notice that there is a group of people, various people coming from various buildings, opening and stepping outside almost at the exact same time as you.
Are they knotted?
They are not. They are not knotted.
I don't know why that's so funny to me.
They are not.
Knotted. So you make your way towards the string right, and you wrap around towards the back edge of the town, kind of making your way to some areas that you haven't quite walked through yet. As you walk through, you cross by these kind of broken down, shattered remnants of the church that was in the town. Broken and
What church was it? Could we tell?
yeah.
Who
So
was it dedicated to?
broken and empty, it stands as a token to the religious fallout, very common with other buildings that you've seen related to other religious faiths. On a stone pillar, inscribed in a kind of stone circle at the top of it, you see the symbol of the mother, a somewhat uncommon religion dedicated to the story of a and religious leader known as the mother.
Mother.
As you're kind of glancing around and looking at the church, you notice a robed clerk. He still is lighting candles, burning incense, and placing things around the rubble of the church. You kind of notice him from inside or from outside, just sort of inside the rubble where the chapel would be. He kind of goes about his business, and as he glances up and sees you kind of looking inside and looking at the symbol of the mother, he raises an eyebrow. He's bent double with his age. He's probably in his late 90s, barely able to walk. He looks up to you and over to the rest of you and says, "I come in. Just a moment of your time. For the mother, of course."
Go walk in.
A religious man. And he looks to both of you, I would assume.
Yes.
Yes. Followers of Calestis.
Ah, Callistus. Have you ever heard the Sermon of the Mother?
I have, many years ago, before. Is it colloquially known as
The Sundering.
The Sundering.
Yeah.
Before the Sundering.
And your faith stood ground. You did not waver under Callistus.
No, I believe that I was chosen by her to spread her word continuously in these trying times.
Interesting. You speak differently than those in the town. You speak differently than the other knotted.
As you hear him say this, your kind of interest peaks and you instinctively look for that head twitch that you've been noticing and you don't see it.
He says, "Tell me, where have you come from? What have you been doing this last few years since the Sundering?"
I have been following my prophet. And I gesture to Thomas and I go, he has been chosen like me. To
Like us all.
preach the words of the gods who have not abandoned us.
I've been following these guys, helping them when they need, taking what I need.
He raises an eyebrow and says,
It isn't common we see visitors that speak as freely as you.
Refreshing.
Indeed. My name is Merrick. I was once the clerk to Elira Voster, our magistrate of Cleanreach prior to the Sundering.
He kind of bows his head and says a gentle prayer of remembrance. He shakes his head and looks up to you.
What brings you to Cleanreach?
We are always looking for like-minded fellows, the religious type and those seeking guidance. We've created a small community
He
That-
nods his head. And
where all people belong.
he nods his head and
Cleanreach might not be the best place, as people are hard to change. Very hard.
And yet you still are here. May I ask why?
I, like others, am hard to change. I was born here. I grew up here. And I stay tending to the Mother's Chapel, even though she has fallen in disgrace.
Indeed, she has.
It is honorable to see you stay true to your beliefs.
Elira would appreciate your sentiment. She always believed it was best to endure, to stand your ground, and to never change.
Indeed.
After all, there is only one right, is there not?
one right.
One right.
One truth.
One good.
His eyes kind of glance up. He kind of smiles and smirks a little bit. He says,
That is something, a phrase that I have not heard in a long time. Two truths cannot hold the same ground. That is why I believe the Mother's influences left. It was no coincidence this town survived the Sundering and stays as pure as it is. I've been wondering if there would be a group that would be able to speak clearly.
as he says this, you have this realization kind of dawn in your head that you have a perfect memory of all of the encounters, the people, visibly inside of your minds from the moment you've entered Cleanreach. However, the more that you think about kind of your past outside of town, those images and things begin to blur. You can't quite place the exact location you last were, or major landmarks that you've seen. But the only sharpened images are those of Cleanreach in your mind.
Fairly rarely do we see those who can remember that of what they last were.
As he says this, he reaches into a satchel and he pulls out a token. This is a common magistrate's seal. And he looks to you and he just kind of holds it out in the palm of his hand towards you guys.
This is Elira's magistrate seal. I believe that she may be the truth that holds this town together. I just haven't the time.
I believe you, and I will take the coin.
So as you take this token, this magistrate seal, it immediately hits you that it is extremely cold to the touch, almost frigid, and there's a slight hum and vibration to it in your hand.
Elira was sealed during the Sundering in a room beneath the main hall. She believed that she would repeat her memories, repeat the ground that she stood on, her knowledge of the people in the town, and that she would endure, and with it the town would endure. During the Sundering, she was unfortunately in this room as it happened. She believed that change would be the thing that tore us apart. As the Sundering changed the world, it tore the world apart. But we did not change. At least, most of us.
And
He glances at the token. She may be the thing that holds, but if she is what holds this town together, that keeps us from impurity, from change, I don't know if I could see her again.
he shakes his head.
But you seem like you have an understanding of at least yourself still. Most don't, as they enter the town.
He kind of starts to lose his breath as he's saying this to you.
We will help how we can. I sense there's a great fog on this town. Perhaps we can free Elira from this fog.
He glances up. I don't know if freeing her is what's best.
He continues to light some of the candles and
Just try to remain faithful to yourself.
Of course. Does it feel like he knows anything else?
make an insight check.
Four.
I don't think you should be doing these.
No, it seems like he's kind of giving you sort of an obscure amount of information for the little trust that he's known you for. But other than that,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like he's hiding anything.
All right,
Thank you, Father.
head out.
Okay.
Tomb under the main hall.
Can we explore under the main hall?
Can we just walk up and go down, or are they gonna?
Yeah. Do they seem like they're
Bar
keeping an
entry.
eye on us? Or-
So right now there's a large amount of people inside getting their communal breakfast currently.
Mm.
In the main hall.
Can I slip underneath? Is there like a stairwell somewhere?
I believe.
All of these buildings are single story, so it doesn't
Mm.
really have anything underneath as far as you can tell from the outside. There's no external cellars.
Did we see any like tomb markings or graveyards?
No, you
anywhere?
haven't. It's not. He didn't describe it as a tomb. It was just a sealed room beneath the main hall.
Interesting.
I suddenly really want to get in this sealed room.
That's to both of you.
Let's have some breakfast then, and I'll just walk in the building.
Okay, so you make your way in, and they kind of glance, taking note of the string on or the knot on Logan, and You get in line, and they feed you like anyone else. They all get the same food, the same portions. They all go sit one at a time down these long benches, filing in line. Glancing around behind where they're kind of serving out the food, you do see sort of a barred door leading to another room.
Is there anyone going in and out of it?
No, all of the food is being prepped and delivered just in the main hall.
Are there guards standing
Mm-mm.
around?
Nope.
Can
They're
I
just
ask?
delivering the food.
I'm just gonna
Um,
walk up and just open to try to see if the door's unlocked.
So you go ahead and go walk up to the door, and it swings wide open, revealing kind of a storage room connected to the main hall. It's a long hallway with rows of, grains, dried meats, fruits, and vegetables.
We'll just walk in and see what's around.
Okay. As you walk in, past one of the people serving out the food, they kind of turn around and say, "Hey,
Oh, I'm looking for a bathroom. Which way? Is this not the right door?
Nope. Bathroom's out the other way.
and he points around the outside.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Head out that way.
Okay. So you walk
Did
out.
I see anything in the 2 seconds I walked in?
No. You just saw kind of this longer hallway opening into a main room, just with a bunch of shelves and storage and stuff.
I'll
Was it-
kind of call Forgo over while I'm walking out.
Was it one of the people that were eating that got mad at him, or someone on the inside? That got
Somebody
mad at
who
him?
is making the food.
Cafeteria work.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I come over and check it out.
I'll just say that's the only other door, right?
It's just a main hall, and then that just connects to the storage hall. They're just two attached buildings.
Okay. I'll say I doubt the entrance is in this building. It probably connects underneath the ground somewhere.
If I look into the hallway, can I see anything that would indicate that there's something hidden? Like
They've
a
already
hidden-
shut the door.
How did they?
Yep.
Oh.
Is there a way to get into the storage hall from like a different entrance?
Yeah, so
at
there
the
is
other
another
building?
entrance for the main building that just kind of connects to it. It's sort of two buildings connected by a storage hall. Yeah.
I tell the boys, I will go check the other building and see if I can find stairs leading down into the ground.
So as you guys begin making your way, or at least Logan, Kier, as you make your way over towards that storage building, you find yourself being approached by Elrin again. She saunters up to you and pulls out her ledger once again and says, "It is time for your name again."
Kier,
"And where are you from, Kier?"
I am from Bramblewake.
"And Kier, what was your memory?"
I was a priest of Callistus.
She nods and says, almost. And she walks away. She walks into the serving hall where you guys are, and she approaches you as well. She said, "It's time for your names again."
Say, I am Thomas Bartholomew, and I watched the fishermen die and did nothing.
"And where are you from, Thomas?"
Bristolbrook.
As you mistakenly say the wrong name, she
Bramble.
flinches and says, almost. And she looks to you.
Forgo. I watched the girl turn to stone. I began in Bramblewake.
Hmm. She nods and says, just about. And she walks away. Yeah.
She's kind of hot.
And I look over at you.
They're like white hair.
She's
She's like
like
50.
70. Some old.
What do you think?
So, Kiera, as you make your way over to the counting house, you open, and inside you see this stone structure with the hall connecting into the main hall, or at least the storage hall that leads to the main hall. Inside, you see a girl carefully tracking ledgers, sorting change and coins on these sort of ceramic tablets. There's boxes and crates of various foods and meats. Some of them you see similar things from kind of local farms. There's gardens outside of the homes. She looks up and she says, yes?
I am wondering if there is a downstairs.
We used to have it downstairs, but we forgot the key. It's been locked for years. Why?
I was tasked to search around for a particular item.
Well,
And
I have all the
suspect
ledgers.
It is beneath the main hall.
Well, there wouldn't be much down there now. It's all rotted, and we just kept food and drink in the cellar down there.
May I go investigate?
She says, this is quite abnormal. I wouldn't recommend it.
You wouldn't recommend, but may I anyways?
I cannot forcibly stop you, I suppose. However, the string right will want to know.
Then, could I walk in around that time?
Sure.
And I was gonna say, I'll inform him. And then just kind of play it off as I passively heard it.
Mm-hmm. She glances up to you. Oh, no need. I will take care of it.
Shall we go together?
I don't have any reason to go to a locked cellar. I have jobs to do.
Oh, I meant to the string right.
Oh, no. There is a time we take care of all string right business during the day.
And what time is that?
Usually in the evening, once all the knotted make their way back to the home.
Well, that's very nice.
Did you say you had a key or that you lost it to this cellar?
I started long after the cellar key was lost. It was supposedly lost, but I don't know.
Could you perhaps direct us to where this cellar is, and we may take a look at the door or at the lock?
There's just a sealed cement kind of hatch just before you get into the hallway leading to the main hall. Just don't take anything.
Of course.
She nods and just gestures behind her.
It's in the hallway connecting the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
We go.
So you make your way and you find this this cement hatch. The closer you get to the hatch, Thomas, the warmer that emblem in your pocket grows. It eventually gets to the point where it's kind of unbearable to touch with your skin. It vibrates louder and louder as you approach or more aggressively as you approach the cellar door.
Just wrap it in some cloth and bring it to the door.
So as you bring it up to the door, you hear a short hiss as some air is released, and the cement latch kind of shimmers for a moment, almost as if it blurs before your eyes. The edges kind of round off. The sharpness of the image kind of fades. And then it goes back to being just a cement cellar door with a latch.
Still locked.
You want to try and open it?
Yeah.
So you go to open it, and it swings freely. It pops right open without a sound.
I'll just repocket the item and I'll go. The gods are with us today, gentlemen.
Indeed, we have been blessed.
So you see this cold stairway with no light kind of leading down beneath the storage hall.
Just walk in.
Okay, so you make your way
Let's venture forward.
down the stairs into the darkness. They kind of wind for a moment, taking a few corners in almost complete darkness.
We closed the latch behind us.
Close the latch behind you. Okay.
Just so nobody knows we got in.
Yeah. So as you make your way down into the cellar, down these kind of winding stairs, it puts you into a small hallway with a few turns. You kind of bump into the walls. They're cold and dry.
Or is it still dark and too hard, like very hard to see?
Yeah.
Prophet, do your little.
I say, I go under my breath. I start mumbling a prayer, and then my hand out of my sleeve starts to glow, like my hand's glowing.
Mm-hmm.
Go. Oh, a miracle.
So as you make your way down, you begin to see this gentle blue glow kind of peeking out from one of the corners of the hallway. You've been walking for about 100 feet or so, just through a few corners. And as you round that corner, that gentle blue glow, you see a larger room open with many different kind of shelves and things lining the walls. In the center of it is a relatively large blue wisp. You immediately identify it as an echo. However, it's much larger than the typical echo that you've seen in the last few years. It doesn't move or change. It doesn't, as most echoes do, kind of shape to be the person or the thing closest to it. It just kind of shimmers there gently. Around the walls, inside of the cellar, you can see that there are vegetables and fruits that would have been kept down here just for a short period of time to keep cold, but should have been long rotted away by now and still hold their preservation. As you kind of enter this room, you kind of see a vision inside of your head. You see this reflection of the town as it once was, standing the same as it does currently now. But from a bird's eye view, you see the corruption of the land around it, the growth sprawling across the roads, twisting vines, covering what were once well-trodden trade routes. In this, you hear a voice, a phrase, in a woman's voice. In unity we stand, in unity we fall. And with that voice being said, you see a flicker of a woman in magistrate's clothing standing in front of the town as a clerk writes things down on a ledger before the vision vanishes and the wisp of blue light begins to flicker there, unmoving now.
Did only he see this, or did we all see it?
This is all of you saw this when you entered.
It's poisoning the land nearby.
Whatever this is, it must stop. There's a great evil preserving the past trying to get away from the god's wrath that was delivered.
Yes. This blight is removing the blessing marks, the blessed marks from these people. And we must be rid of it.
Is there a way to get rid of echoes?
Yeah,
We
so
got this guy.
so
Eat it, Forgo.
consuming echoes is a large part of the world around you. So inside of Kale, post Sundering, there are a few different ways that you can consume echoes. And this is sort of just knowledge that you've kind of discovered in the last few years, meeting other people and hearing rumors. Typically, you can assimilate an echo. This is sort of a riskier way to join with an echo. It becomes part of you. It changes a part of you, guaranteed. You can devour an echo. It's an aggressive way to consume an echo, forcing it into your body, into your soul. There's a chance that you gain instability in your powers. You can potentially be rewritten, losing memories or gaining memories, or physical manifestations of it. And some archivists have found ways to distill echoes down into liquids using lab equipment. Typically, these are smaller, kind of less powerful echoes that can be captured and drained of their essence.
I'd imagine that in the time between the Sundering and now, I've probably devoured an echo or two.
Mm-hmm.
Quick metagaming real fast. For like lore-wise, is that why I'd imagine that's why
That's kind
we
of what we
have
talked
you
about
with
in the
us.
first place.
Yeah. Because like
I was following because, I mean, weren't we metagaming further? Weren't you talking about like the promise that the prophet gave was that you helped rid people of those things, and then I was the one that would consume the echoes?
you would consume them.
Yeah.
So like we would
But-
kind of fish out the problem, you would consume them,
Yeah,
and then we would spread the word.
but would that go against what you're teaching though? Since you're kind of teaching like it's good to be
Or-
mutated,
Or
whatever.
weren't we thinking
Pride.
that the Sundering, so like getting rewritten from the Sundering was blessed,
Yeah.
but like anything after is blasphemy. So like if you consume an echo to become like
You're
marked,
trying to imitate it.
yeah, you're trying to imitate like the
Oh,
moment of
God's blessing.
Yeah, the moment of God's like hand or whatever.
Interesting. So
So I guess we should start asking around, like, was this like some marked guy? Like, was this because of consumption of echo, or was this because of the Sundering? I guess we can tie that into
maybe we can. Were you sundered?
yeah.
Like, was this all because of that, or did you gain this later?
Yeah. Did you consume an echo and gain this? Trying to imitate the blessings of God. We can.
Or like liberals, like were you gay at birth, or did you become gay?
Were you molested as a child?
Yeah. We're like discriminating against our own. Interesting.
We
Yeah.
can tie that in.
So the difference between devouring it and like assimilating it is devouring has a chance to not.
Yeah, it's you're forcefully consuming it in an attempt to control it, versus assimilating is accepting the fact that you are going to have some kind of change.
Sure.
We know you have antlers, right?
Yeah, you see.
Because you were there
Yeah.
at the Sundering. That's right. So we don't see you as a blasphemer.
No.
He is simply cleaning.
He is our tool.
You
of
guys like.
cleansing.
Yeah. You justify it because of the services I do.
Yeah,
or
you,
He's
something.
like,
you
this is the
consume
only
him
guy
as
dumb
it's a
enough to consume
sacrifice.
them.
It's a
It's a
sacrifice.
necessary sacrifice.
Perfect.
Should I consume this one?
Yes.
Free these people.
Remove this blight from this
Will it
land.
free them?
It'll free them from this disgusting mark that is on below their territory, at least.
These echoes are sacrilege, granting false imitations of our blessed state.
All right. Then I will consume.
Okay, so as you approach the echo, this is by far the largest echo that you've been around. The closer you get to it, the more power you feel resonating from it. It's at this moment that you hear a kind of a shout from above, and an echo of like a not an echo, but an echo of a voice shouting through the hallway that you just came through. Wait! Wait! And after a moment, you see Elrin come running out of the hallway. You can't do this. Leave it alone. It is the anchor. It's the only thing holding us grounded, protecting us.
It is holding you from your true potential. It is keeping you stagnant when the world is changing.
Have you seen the outside? Sameness, unity is not so bad. Everything has fallen outside. There is no peace. We are one of the final settlements. The final settlements that are peaceful, protected, clean. It is okay. We can live happy lives here.
You are ignorant.
I put my hand on his shoulder and I say, I do the warmth again. So he has a little warmth and I say,
Is this the old
This
lady?
is this is the lady.
Gotcha.
I understand your fears. It is not wrong to fear. But do you truly wish to have no choices?
I never said we don't have choice. We are brought together by the anchor, unified. We still have free will.
What choice have you made?
I made the choice to take my kids to school, to feed them.
At the same time, all the other parents made their choice to take their kids to school.
And is that wrong?
At the same time, we all took the step outside to eat breakfast.
And yet, our buildings stand, our air is clean.
Is it clean or is it an illusion of cleanliness?
Have you not been outside the town? Have you not been around the world? The world is failing us. The gods have failed us. It is clear that what holds us together, what binds us now, is a protection, at least for our community.
This world was touched by the hand of Calestis. We have been blessed. This anchor is blasphemy in her eyes, removing the blessed marks from Calestis's chosen.
You're crazy.
And she runs and tries to run towards you as you're the closest to the echo.
I'm going to stop her.
Okay, so what do you do?
I just grab her.
Okay. You grab her. She tries to fight back. She's kicking and screaming. You begin to hear kind of some shouts from above and some echoing footsteps coming down the hallway.
I'm going to walk up and unsheath my axe, my hand axe.
Running down the hallway, you just see the girl who was at the front with her ledgers and a few common townsfolk from just the storage hall as they were grabbing food. They run and they immediately skid to a stop and see you there towering above them, holding your axe, and they stumble backwards.
Do not interfere with the works of God.
And they don't take any action. They just kind of tremble in front of you.
I go, forego. I was going to say assimilate, but that's one of the...
Consume or...
Do what you must.
All right. I look at the... I'm like kind of holding the echo in front of me. What was there was a simulate and there was the other one?
Devour.
Devour. And I will devour the echo.
Okay, so you kind of reach out to this extremely large echo. It's maybe 8 to 10 feet tall. a few feet wide. It's humongous compared to other echoes, and it doesn't behave necessarily the same as the common echo. As you reach out and you kind of make contact with this kind of misty blue light source, you're immediately have your head thrown back as you are flooded with this immediate feeling of sameness, of uniformity. You feel your body kind of shifting and changing to a kind of a what feels like a stale state, sort of a neutral position for the human body, not changed, not mutated. You feel your antlers begin to kind of recede, just a few inches, but not completely. Inside of your mind, you feel this insistence of uniformity, this desire to bring a community together, to endure change. And you hear the voice of Elira in your mind, praying and shouting against the thundering storms above, the ripping of the skies, the shifts of the ground beneath. And as you hear this mind or this insistence on sameness, it vanishes, and from your mind you see that left behind from Elira is not just an echo of her or a memory of her, but just a strong insistence on enduring through sameness. And as you consume this echo of sameness, of unity, you feel like you are with your people, that you are who you're going to be. You're not going to change your beliefs. You're not going to fight for something you don't believe in. You're unwavering in who you are. But as this happens, you hear a loud crack. It echoes. It hurts your ears, all three of you, through the hall, through outside. You feel this earthquake that begins shaking. Immediately, you see these fruits and vegetables, these wines begin to wither and decay. The drinks grow cloudy in their bottles. The corks begin to mold and fall apart. The bodies of Elira, or not Elira, of Elra, I can't remember her name.
The old lady.
Yeah, Elrin.
Elrin.
Body of Elrin and those standing in the hall begin to age rapidly. It's almost as if her body catches up with her hair.
Interesting.
And then it's calm. Just a cold, empty, dark room, beginning to smell of rot and decay from the fruits, drinks, and vegetables.
I like looking really. I'm like tweaking out.
You did well, my child. Come. We have freed this city from its heresies. And I start to walk out.
You walk out. And as the people who are in the hallway follow you out, you make your way up the cellar. And as you reach the top of the cellar, you see this extreme light, this brightness coming from above, something that wouldn't be common inside of an enclosed building. And as you glance upward, you see that there's a shattered hole through the roof of the hall that you would walk through that connected the main hall and the counting room. You look to your left where the counting room was, and you see that half of the building has crumbled and fallen away. A sharp, jagged line separates the building as it tips and canters to one side. Going further outside, you see that the roads are now twisted, leading into wrong directions. Some roads directly leading into the entrances of homes. Houses are toppled over. Some are tipped completely upside down. Above, you can see a sharp line of bright white light kind of scarring the sky above the town. The more that you look around, the more that you see actively moving vines and growths beginning to crawl and creep up the areas around there. As you pass by the entrance of the main hall, you see that what was once full of a few hundred bustling bodies eating are now left with cracked and empty plates, food rotting on the ground. A few bodies lie here and there, unmoving. A blood-curdling scream fills your ears as you dash across the road to see a woman holding a child, withered and decayed in her arms. It looks almost as if the Sundering has relived itself in clean reach.
Clean reach, no longer clean.
This town has been judged. Trying to prevent the hand of God from blessing it has led to their destruction.
Do we see anybody now with like mutations? Because before they were kind of all hidden and not really seen, right? Do we see anybody now?
You don't really notice anyone around, at least significantly. There's one or two people here or there weeping and crying. You notice a few of the people who were previously knotted, kind of glancing around, confused, but not all of them. It's at this time that you hear another voice.
What have you done?
As Merrick comes kind of hobbling from the direction of the church.
What has happened?
Prophet.
This city has been reclaimed by the gods.
Merrick shakes his head and,
You idiots! We were here. We were happy. We were
You were false.
living a life. False of what?
Reality. Look around. You can't hide in a bubble from the gods. The gods come one day or another.
You think the gods caused this? Are you a god?
Are you?
No.
Did the gods tell you they didn't cause this?
Where are the gods now? When have you last spoken with them? They leave our shrines, our altars, our churches.
They speak to me on the
shattered.
daily, and they tell me that you have forsaken them, that they didn't want to leave. You forced them to leave. It's heretics like you that cause these evils.
These evils. You call the evil of having a child alive, playing in the streets. That mother holds her withered, rotting corpse of a child in her arms. Most of the people don't even exist anymore. And yet you call yourself a saint.
And yet you call them real.
And they were.
They stopped existing. Maybe 20 years ago they were real, but look around.
They were real moments ago.
Moments, memories.
How blind do you have to be?
How in your head do you have to see that this is just a memory?
Is it a memory?
Yes.
Or was it real?
Was it?
Because I can certainly see the change that you have wrought. You're telling me that you saw all of this and nothing is new? That the token I gave you didn't change? That you didn't enter a sacred area and do something to change what we saw?
I know not what you saw, just what I live. And now you must live as the rest of the people do.
What people?
The people outside your walls, the people you forsake.
he shakes his head and he says,
Blasphemy. If they truly think their gods are real.
and
She still tends the faithful.
he does a common sigil of the mother, moving his hands in front of him. And he makes his way towards the entrance to the town.
He is ignorant, prophet.
Indeed, my child.
Normally, I would judge these people unworthy. Yet I shall give them time to live as they should have.
Very generous of you.
And if we return at some point in the future and they have not accepted what has become of them, then we will cast our judgment.
They are but newborns waking up to reality. Give them time. Or give them death.
Yes.
And then we continue walking around.
We leave.
We just leave.
We just went in and destroyed the city. We're like,
The last-
job well done.
The last known standing area where
There's normal.
as
Is
you
this
guys
what you plan?
Yep.
Okay.
As you
That's who we are, baby.
as you guys are
I was
kind of
wondering.
leaving the town and
Take-
looking, you notice that once again, contrary to the rest of the town, the Church of the Mother stands unshattered, uncracked, almost as if it had never been fallen.
And yet the man claimed the gods were gone.
Is there any? Can I feel any vibes about this church? Like, is there a reason why it's still standing despite everything else?
So it is in better repair than when you first saw it, when you first
So
arrived.
it looks even better.
Yes.
Interesting.
And this time, as you are walking, you see a signpost that hadn't previously been standing as you talked to Merrick the first time. And on that signpost, it just says, "She tends the faithful," and which is the last words that Merrick said as he walked out of town.
Perhaps he will know the truth soon enough.
She is not our god.
I'm gonna go to the knot rider.
The string right.
String
So you
rider.
make your way over to the string right, and before you find a shattered, crumbling building, strewn with colored ropes, strings, hemp, but no sign of the man who was in there tying the knots.
I take my knots and I dump them on the desk if it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like any documents or like what's in the building?
The only thing in the building, after searching around for some time, is just rope and string.
No explanations, no guide, no.
Nope.
I look over to him and I say, "He has flown. He fears justice. But perhaps he has information that could help us."
We must pursue.
Let us find him.
And you're talking about the
The
man,
string
the
right?
string right. Okay. Everyone, last thing, go ahead and make a religion check.
19.
11.
18.
Okay. Thomas and Forgo, after hearing the words, she tends the faithful, or she still tends the faithful, and seeing the symbol of the mother, something clicks and rings a bell inside of your head. The mother was a religion brought to Kale by a group of crusaders long ago. They established a church in an area previously known as the Mire, on borderlands between the Gloam Marshes in a valley, kind of now turned marshland post-Sundering. during these times when the Crusaders brought this religion to Kale, they would worship the Mother, a being who was supposedly keeping alive a young crusading soldier who had been felled in battle, kind of postponed in a stalemate between life and death. This is what drew most of the followers to the Mother's Church, and it's uncommon to see another steeple or chapel of the Mother. They typically were small and only had this one main establishment kind of in the mire. This in your head is most likely where Merrick was heading off to, as there's a common saying amongst worshippers of the Mother that she will always tend the faithful, even in her absence.
Cool.
And that is where we'll end today.
Cool.
All right.
Dope.
Very cool.
Very cool. Awesome.
Just murdering innocents.
Just wiping out
An entire
settlements.
Consider yourself blessed.
I mean, on my alignment, I put lawful evil.
That's what I did too.
Because it's like in my head,
we kind of feel like anti-heroes
like
right now.
if we deem people unworthy, we just kill them.
Right.
And like in my head, it's like if they don't accept us or like don't accept that, marks can be a blessing. We just kill them.
Could have killed a lot of people in that tavern.
Yeah. Well, they were starting to.
Imagine we just like gathered them and then just
It
instantly
just
kill.
slaughtered all of them.
The faithful will survive, and then he like does some magic, and all the guys that don't
The
like
guys
it just
that-
catch on fire or something.
Yeah.
All right. That's the end of the episode. Thanks for listening.